Hi, this is Adriana from Tasty Pastry Kitchen, and today I'm going to go over the two main methods that I use to make my cakesicles. So I have some cakesicles here, and these milk chocolate ones were made using the dipping method, which is where you take molded cake and you dip it into melted chocolate. And then these white ones here were made using the shelling method, where you take a paintbrush or a spoon and you apply melted chocolate to the inside of a mold and then fill it with cake. And so there are pros and cons for either method that you choose, and I'll go over each of those as well as some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way so that you can get some really great looking basic cakesicles that are ready to decorate.
Okay, so let's start with the dipping method first, and you're going to need your mold and popsicle sticks. You're going to need some melting chocolate such as Candy Melts. I have Merkins here, and then some thinning agent such as Easy Thins or coconut oil or Paramount Crystals. And of course you need something to fill it with, so I just have some cake pop filling. Keep an eye out for a tutorial I'm releasing soon that's going to have all different kinds of fillings for cakesicles. Okay, so regarding the cakesicle filling, make sure that your cake pop mix is pretty moist and that you can squeeze it into a ball really easily. If your cake pop mix is too dry, it will be much more difficult to dip into the chocolate, so you have to make sure that your fillings are really dense. This could be considered a drawback in that you have to use really dense fillings, but for the most part, I think people still really enjoy these types of fillings. So as you fill your silicone mold, make sure that you press down really hard and fill the mold completely. And I found the most successful way to do this is to fill the cavities up halfway first with the cake pop mix, and then go through and press really firmly into the mold so that it catches the shape of the popsicle. Then take a popsicle stick and insert it into the mold, and it should sit rather flat on top of the cake pop mix that you just put in there. And take a little bit of melted chocolate, use whatever you're coating the surface with if you can, and put some on the top of the stick. And what this does is it cements the stick inside the cakesicle. I find that if you skip this step during the dipping process, you can risk losing the cake off of the stick and it'll just fall into the chocolate. Okay, so after that, you're gonna take some more cake pop mix and press it onto the chocolate and stick. And you're gonna be pressing firmly this entire time. This is actually the difference between this method and the other method, because this is what's gonna give us that classic shape from the mold. Okay, then go ahead and finish up the rest of the cakesicles in your mold by making sure that the sticks are covered in chocolate and then covering that in the rest of your cake pop mix. And then I like to go back and press down really firmly to make sure that everything is all even and pressed into the mold. Make sure your sticks are nice and straight, and then you can place your cakesicles in the fridge or the freezer, whatever you prefer. I like the freezer, it's just faster, and it needs to go in the freezer for at least 10 to 15 minutes. And near the end of the freezing time, I like to prepare my melting chocolate. So this is Merkins chocolate. I really like this brand because it actually tastes really good and it's easy to work with. So compound chocolate has some extra fat added to it that aids in the meltability, and it's perfect for dipping. Compound chocolates typically are too thick, and every brand is going to vary, but they're typically too thick to just straight up dip in. So you often need a thinning agent. So you saw that I poured in some Easy Thins. You can use coconut oil and you can use Paramount Crystals, but what you want to do is about a teaspoon at a time, pour it in and stir until it reaches a consistency that's kind of similar to like a pancake batter. You don't want it to be so thick so that it kind of clumps off of the spoon like it's doing on mine, but you want it to run very smoothly off of the spatula. And speaking of dipping, you will need a clear glass to dip the cakesicles in, so you need something at least as wide as the cakesicles and at least as tall, hopefully a little bit wider and taller, just gonna make your life easier. So pour the melted chocolate into the glass, making sure that you have enough to sufficiently cover the cakesicle once you put it in. Okay, once your cakesicles are nice and firm from the fridge or freezer, go ahead and remove them from the mold. This is really one of the pros of the dipping method. Removing cakesicles from silicone mold when they don't have any chocolate on them is relatively easy. Once you have them all removed from the mold, I would let them sit out at room temperature for about 2 to 3 minutes. And this is because if you dip them when they're ice cold, the chocolate will immediately harden when it touches the surface. You want the chocolate to be able to run off of the edge of the Cakesicle because that's going to give you the smooth finish. So let's go through this dipping process step by step. Take your glass of chocolate and tip it over to the side so that chocolate runs up a little bit. Then take your Cakesicle and put it in face down into the chocolate and flip it over, covering the entire surface all the way up to the stick. Pull it out and let the chocolate run off of the edge of the Cakesicle. And then on the other side of the glass that doesn't have the dipping side, very gently scrape the residual chocolate off of the back, making sure that you're not doing it too hard because that's going to scrape crumbs off of the back, and gently place this Cakesicle on the parchment. So some key things that should help you out here: make sure that you cover the entire Cakesicle, of course, and then cover a little bit of the stick because this is also going to anchor the Cakesicle to the stick. And also make sure that you're allowing enough chocolate to drip off at the end. So right here, so we're letting the chocolate drip off. If you were just to immediately put this Cakesicle on the parchment, you would get way too much chocolate and create like a foot underneath the Cakesicle. So the dripping and the scraping at the end are really necessary so that you get the cleanest look possible. I think a major drawback of this method is that you get more of a quote-unquote rustic look with the Cakesicle. It doesn't really have that super smooth, shiny surface that you get with the other method. It still looks really good, but it's just not as shiny as the shelling method. But a major advantage of this method is that you can do so many at once. So you can freeze a bunch of these Cakesicles and just have this major dipping session where you're just dipping one after another. So it's much more efficient to do it this way. The other way is called the shelling method, and it uses the same exact materials. We're just going to work from the outside in. So I'm just going to take some melted white chocolate this time and fill each of the cavities with about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of chocolate. One key difference here is that you do not use a thinner for this method. You used a thinner with the other method because you needed it to be a certain consistency for dipping. For this, you actually need the compound chocolate to remain thick. The first thing that we do after we pour in the compound chocolate is use a spoon. I like to use a paintbrush because it's more accurate, and I pull up the chocolate along the sides to make sure that all of the surface is covered. You're going to need a pretty thick coat, so make sure that you use a chocolate that you really enjoy eating. Once you're done coating the sides, take the mold and tap it on the counter a couple of times to remove any air bubbles from the surface of the Cakesicle, and making sure that the Cakesicle is completely covered on all sides. If there are any holes, it's not a big deal because we're going to go through with the second coat, but you do want this to be relatively thick and cover the entire surface. Then take your Cakesicle sticks and stick them into each slot, making sure that they are straight. And the reason that we do this now is because we're forming the mold, and if we were to pop the Cakesicle sticks in later, they will break the base of the Cakesicle, which will make it very difficult for you to remove the Cakesicle intact. And then at this point, I like to add a little bit more chocolate to the area where the stick meets the base, because this is a major anchor point for the popsicle stick. Place this in the fridge for at least 10 to 15 minutes or until the chocolate is completely solid. All right, time for round 2. Take some more of your melted chocolate and do a second coat around the sides and the edges of the Cakesicle. So this is essential because if you don't do this second coating, it is likely not thick enough to withstand you removing it from the mold. So you have to have, like I said before, a pretty thick side and base. At this point, I like to take like a 1/4 teaspoon measure and go around the edge to kind of smooth it out to make sure that it's completely covered and that no gaps remain. If there are any large pieces of chocolate left on the silicone mold, I usually take a spatula and scrape it off before putting it in the fridge for another 5 minutes. remove the molds from the fridge and let's fill them. So the filling du jour is cookies and cream today, and we are going to take a little bit and place them at the bottom region of the cakesicle and push it underneath the stick. So the important thing to remember throughout this entire process for using the shelling method, don't apply a lot of pressure. If you push down really hard when putting in filling or anything like that, you're gonna crack the chocolate underneath. So because of this, I tend to use lighter fillings for my shelling method cakesicles. So with my dipping method, I use exclusively cake pop mix that's really dense. For shelling method, you can use ganache, you can use peanut butter filling, you can use really anything that you can think of. Because we're getting the shape from the chocolate on the outside, you can really just fill it with whatever you like. So go ahead and lightly fill the rest of your cakesicles, making sure that you always first fill underneath the stick, because that's gonna crack if you push down on it and there's nothing underneath it, and then work your way up to the top. And so you wanna leave a little gap at the top because we're gonna fill in with more chocolate and completely close off the cakesicle. Next, take your melted chocolate and pour a little bit on the back of each cakesicle. Then what I like to do is grab the mold and kind of shake it and tap it. So what the chocolate is going to do is fall down into the filling and kind of fill in any gaps that way. And it's also going to spread over the entire back surface of the cakesicle. You can always go and add more chocolate if you need it to get more coverage. Take a really long palette knife and smooth the back of the cakesicle. So if you have any crumbs that are sticking up, they're going to poke through the back like what I have here, but that's fine. You can just take more of the chocolate and kind of try to smooth it out. Honestly, nobody ever looks at the back of a cakesicle really, so as long as you get it kind of semi-smooth and it lays flat, I think you're good to go. Once you've kind of tidied everything up on the back, stick these in the fridge for at least 10 to 15 minutes. You want these guys to be really solid before you take them out of the mold. Okay, so to remove the cakesicles once they're done, all you do is kind of push from the bottom and the cakesicle should pop out, and then push the stick up and you can remove it completely from the mold. Definitely try to use the silicone mold to your advantage. So these molds are made so that you can turn them basically inside out. So you should be really manipulating the mold and not the cakesicle itself to get each cakesicle out. I think that is the main disadvantage of using the shelling method, in that it is a bit more technically difficult to do, but if you learn how to do it correctly, the results are really pretty. You get a really crisp finish and a really shiny shell for these cakesicles. And the other disadvantage is that you do have to use quite a bit more chocolate. But like I said, if you're using something that you enjoy eating, these are really good. So once you remove all of the cakesicles from the mold, you can take a small paring knife and run it along the edges, because you'll likely have some pieces of chocolate that stick out. So you can just remove those. So here we have it, the finished cakesicles. So we have these white cakesicles that were made using the shelling method, and although they were more technically difficult and time consuming, you can see that it gives you a much smoother finish and allows you to fill with more lighter fillings such as ganaches and things like that. And I definitely recommend giving these a try because the results are really beautiful. And then we have the cakesicles that we made using the dipping method, and these give you more of a rustic type look. And I highly suggest that you try this method if you have a lot of cakesicles that you have to make at once or you're just starting out. So I hope this tutorial has taught you everything you needed to know about cakesicle basics. Go ahead and check out my other videos for some decorating ideas, or you can check out my blog Tasty Pastry Kitchen, where I have all the resources and tools that I use to make these cakesicles. Thanks and have a great day.